Did you hear about this, bro?
Bro, I sent that to Bonnie yesterday. Me and Bonnie was talking about that last night.
Oh, for real? What was the combo like, man?
Well, Bonnie hadn't heard about it. I sent him the video. He watched it, and we was going over what you need. I think Bonnie had us go to Ezekiel 37 about the dry bones and said, the Most High said we need the wind to come in this, or the spirit. And I was saying to Bonnie, I was like, I agree with you. But if you talk to the people, everybody already proclaims that they have the Ruach HaKodesh. Everybody claims that they have the spirit. So it's like, you got a people who are claiming that the life-giving spirit of the Most High is in them. I'm talking about even the spirit of truth. But yet, somehow, you can teach that we're, as far as our ancestral lines go, that we're the Israelites. But then, all of a sudden, you say it's a cosplaying movement, or we're cosplaying as the Israelites, and that you're no longer one. Now, this stuff has been going on, Aki. If you really believe that we're an ancestral line, how is it that you can then say you're not that anymore? Like the equivalent saying, I'm not Puerto Rican anymore. I'm not white. I'm not black anymore. I'm not African American anymore. You don't see brothers saying stuff like that when brothers is killing each other by the hundreds through gang violence and inner city disputes. You don't hear brothers say, oh, I'm not African American anymore. Because brothers don't really believe this. It's like the boy GRLA Hebrew was saying. He was saying that basically we're a religion. I mean, the way he's approaching is that we're a religion. When he claimed Israelites are like, the Christian churches. In a lot of ways, bro, if you can leave your ancestral line, if you're saying this is an ancestral line and you can leave it because you say brothers and sisters are not conducting themselves the right way, or it's too much backstabbing, that means that you never believed that we were ancestral line. You believe we was a religion.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
He says, I'm not a part of this. I want to be associated with the Hebrew Israelites. That term right there is just the equivalent of just imagine the backlash if somebody came out and said, I'm no longer African American. I don't want to be, and it uses quotes, I don't want to be associated with the African Americans anymore. That person would never be able to show their face on any broadcasting station anymore. Even if a person, I'm done with the white people. I'm done with the white race. And uses quotes and say, I no longer going to be associated with them. It wouldn't even make any sense if you're talking about being a tribe, or you're talking about an ancestral line. I mean, you can't get past that. And I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be real redundant on this, because this stuff got to stop. You got too many brothers and sisters. Go online right now. You got too many of them. They're saying they're no longer Israelites no more, brother. I can understand saying I'm no longer a part of the group I was in, but when you say I'm no longer an Israelite, that means that you have already helped the masses put us in a container of religions. You don't hear nobody do that regarding people. You never heard a Chinese person say, I no longer, with quotes, to invalidate. That's right there is diminishing any validity. It's saying I'm no longer going down. I'm no longer a Chinese person. I no longer identify as one. See what I'm saying? That right there is you make us illegitimate with that. Now we're just another ranting religious group. That has to be stated that that's not the vocation that they should be. They should not be verbalizing it that way.
Right.
I'm gonna say the same thing again, bro. You better believe that, because I think that's the root of it right there.
Right. That's the root of it. And besides, regardless of what has come out of his mouth in the past concerning the bloodline, right here, what he's basically saying is, I'm not a part, like he's verbalizing, I'm not a part of that bloodline anymore. It's almost like he's putting himself in the seat of the Most High. where the Most High will say to the northern kingdom, "You are no longer my people," in Hosea, right?
Mhm.
It's almost like he's saying, "Oh, I'm no longer a part of that. I'm no longer part of that blood. My father is no longer my father." I'm gonna play. Oh, I just want to remind you that was just 10 seconds, but I'm gonna
Hey
play.
man, like you should not have had us watch this video because I'm not letting that slide. I'm no longer Israelite, brother.
Hey man, if you gotta say it 20 more times, go right ahead. Here we go.
Go ahead.
So how do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. I'm not coming in representing the Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that. So somebody asked me like, "Oh, so what do you identify as now? If you're saying you're not a so-called Hebrew Israelite, why lead a movement?" Well, because it's a movement, and movements stop. But are actually
Right there.
cosplaying.
Stop right there. I should let him finish that next statement. Go ahead. Let him play that because he said we're cosplaying. Go ahead.
Yeah.
As the ancient Israelites, and
Stop right
they
there.
are exactly like Christians.
So he says it's a movement. An ancestral line is not a movement.
Mm.
The civil rights movement was a movement. That's why I said civil rights movement. An ancestral line can't be a movement. I mean, now you could say it's a movement if you want to say, okay, we're a movement of reestablishing who we are. But a movement usually is not defined as an ancestral line. He's not applying that to an ancestral line. He's applying that to a belief system. And then he goes on to say, like Christians.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? So then we would have no argument outside of any religious group. Like, what is our real argument? We're just another religious group.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But go ahead. I don't want to have us go too
No, and that was something you were bringing up before. You know, we were talking about um kind of bringing out this notion of our validity. Like we are saying we are those people. We're not saying that the Christian religion is wrong simply because it's wrong. We're not saying that all these other religions are wrong simply because they're wrong. We're saying that this isn't about religion, it's about a bloodline. And he's confusing a movement with an awakening, right?
But this is
It's
the
two
thing.
totally different things. We got movements that has happened throughout history. The civil rights movement was a movement.
Yeah.
In a way, it was a religion. But awakening is awakening to who you are. It's a bloodline. It's not a movement. I would totally disagree with the idea that this is a movement. And those who think of it as a movement are off base.
You know, I'm a real individual. You know, you're just gonna be real people. Every aspect, everything. It's gonna be real witnesses to that. Everything. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the beautiful thing about me is, what you call it? Am I still Sakari? How could I ever not be Sakari? That's my whole idea. The name is my idea. The signet is my idea. The color scheme is my idea. The structure is my. How can I never? That's mine. How can I not be? You know what I'm saying? Come on, fool. Y'all gotta think. Y'all gotta think. You know, Flex Detroit, appreciate the follow though. Make sure I salute you.
I mean, wouldn't he?
Feel me? But yeah, for people who want,
Wouldn't he be the one that need to think? You say you're not an Israelite no more. That's a Hebrew Israelite group.
Exactly.
When this sound and you saying you don't want to deal with the people that's in, mainly because of infighting. I don't know. You just threw me off with that one. Everything he's saying, man, just like wisdom. I don't.
Yeah. There's no structure or logic or spirit in anything he's doing right now.
to learn, and I'm not in an active duty role, actively teaching, but I got something for people who want to sub up weekly live streams. That's what I got for you. Here, on IG, on YouTube. It's all gonna be the same one, but it's just whatever platform that you're preferable to. You can sub here on TikTok, on IG, or on YouTube, on the Chief on YouTube, and you'll get weekly lives, right? If you're at the level 1, bi-weekly. If you're at level 2, weekly. And level 2 is only available here on TikTok and YouTube. Feel me? So yeah, man, that's what I got for people who are looking for that. But as of right now, and for the time being, that's just not the space that I'm functioning in. I'm functioning in a different space. The Most High got me in, man. Blackjack, what's the deal, bro? Appreciate the follow. Make sure we follow, make sure we like it, make sure we sharing. I mean, our debate, just depending on how I feel, there's a debate I got with a Christian that's pending right now. You feel me? But they gotta understand I'm not coming in representing the Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that.
You an
I'm
Israelite,
representing something.
you'll be representing the Hebrew Israelite community?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He not.
That's what I'm saying. But if you're still an Israelite, wouldn't you still be represented whether you want to or not?
Yeah, he's talking like he understands that, but obviously he doesn't. It's like he's saying, "Oh, I'm not teaching no more, but I'm teaching on this private platform or whatever. In order to get my teaching, you got to join this platform." Like he's acting like he's separating himself, but at the same time saying, "Of course I'm Sakari. I started it."
Yeah,
Like,
but how does a man or whoever operate as a particular entity, and when they speak, by default, they don't represent that entity?
right.
Like if you saying you're a thing and you speak, by default, you speak for that entity that you're in.
Right.
So if you're a Christian, you can't say I don't speak for Christians when you are a Christian.
Right.
Yeah, I mean by default, that's what you can only speak for what you are.
Right. Right.
Saying he there's a lot of confusion if you don't understand how to look at what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's saying. I think he butthurt about certain individuals, and he doesn't know that you can't translate it this way.
Right. Yep.
As far as my theological position, I'm coming in representing something different. So y'all just stay tuned for that. Y'all just stay tuned for that.
But you got a sinful man. Like he commits some acts that brought forth a lot of scrutiny, right? You chose that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what's the elder and the deacons to be blameless, the husband of one wife.
Mm-hmm.
You're not blameless. That's what I'm saying. Like when you come along and you smite people coming after you, when you're not blameless, it's like when the Most High said, confess your iniquity and that you walk contrary to me and I walk contrary to you. You're not even confessing your iniquity. Everything that came with that, had this not been exposed, would you be saying what you're saying now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Had you not had to get off the seat that you were on due to the actions that you did, would you be saying what you're saying now? See what I'm saying? Now that your position got to be redefined and you got to take a back seat because everybody coming at you as a face or a head. Now this is what you say.
Right. Right.
But this is not where it should be going. This is another thing I want to say too. We got two different arguments regarding Christians. Our war is not with Christians because our war with Christians will be doctrinal. Our war or our point is really with the people claiming to be us that reside in our land. And we're talking about legitimacy and ancestral rights. Those are two different things. We're too busy battling doctrinally against a religion as if we're a religion.
Right.
Most brothers debating the religious aspect of things, which, bro, basically has no ending. You can look how many things you look. All the Christian got to do is that. Do you believe the rapture? And you can just engulf a whole conversation in the rapture. You can engulf a whole conversation in whether the Mashiach was born of a virgin or not. You can engulf a whole conversation if you believe the Trinity or not. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're stealing our virtue, you're stealing our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding by even engulfing us in a belief that you as a subordinate don't even have a right to occupy a king in that. Imagine somebody who's a citizen of a kingdom occupying the king and his rights when the king is expanding the kingdom.
Mm.
You think the king is going to be locked into an argument with his subordinates
Right.
over how the kingdom should be ran?
Mm-hmm.
Or the expansion and establishment of the kingdom is a whole nother thing. We're supposed to be going at the legitimacy of who we are. That our right is to the land that the Most High promised to our fathers, that everything that they are doing the Jewish people belongs to us. That these are imposters. These are identity theft. I mean, this is a virus on a computer. Yeah, that's where our attention. Why did Christ come? These things are what we're saying to those who have taken our heritage or our ancestral belongings and ran away with. That's where our fight should be at, not with religious doctrine with a religious group. Then when does it stop? Should we go into religious discussions with Buddhists
Right.
and Muslims? It don't never stop. The Most High God gave us the lively oracles. Why are we talking to these people?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they want to take hold of us. If you don't want to believe, then don't.
Right.
You don't have to. See what I'm saying? I think that right there is the 151 fake out. They stole a lot of our credibility having us running around in religious arguments with people. And they use the face of our people to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, guess what? Because this brother is a sinful outcast in his own group, now he get to throw that back at us, at his own people, so-called.
Ah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
You think I'm over here watching Hebrew Israelite debates, Eliezer? The same recycled, backwash topics?
He ain't
I think
lying on
not.
that.
I've been there.
Now you ain't got to pause. I'm just saying he ain't lying on that.
Yeah, the same topics, but this is what he did.
Bro, he already has no credibility. Man, I know we ain't watching this to diminish his credibility. That brother ain't got no credibility. Ain't like he was cast off for doing something righteous. This man wanted to explore fantasy of a sister being with a caucus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do we like? Let me tell you, I'm not about to talk about credibility with this guy. About this. Like, let's watch this for a whole nother reason.
Right. Right.
I've done that. I came, I saw, I conquered that. I'm not. I'm just letting you know. All I gotta say is all them niggas need to get in my debate course.
Now,
that's all I'm gonna say.
When he says they need to get in this, that we need, or those need to get in his debate course. Yo, nobody has done a real debate. Not even these caucuses. Not even the Edomites. Nobody has done a proper debate. Let me tell you something. When I was in, and I said this to you, brothers, I was in Texas. I think I was in the 7th grade. They had a debate class in the 7th grade. Nothing that I knew nothing about in Camden, New Jersey. I'll tell you that. Yo, a debate is not ran that way. Yo, you've seen the great debaters. Even the movie shows you what a debate is. GRLA Hebrew ain't never been in no debate. Cesaric ain't never been in no debate. Dr. James White ain't been in no debate. None of these dudes is talking about, like, when you have white people going on GOCC channel and they're doing debate, that's not no debate. Two people having a discourse is not no debate.
Right.
Where's the point system? Where's the winner? Where's addressing the issue? Like, there's none of these. Where's the moderator?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a debate, like a literal debate, in all my years in the truth. I have never seen a forum of debate. Now, you telling me this is understood in the 7th grade class, what a debate is? This is not no debate.
Right.
This stuff we're doing is debate. You got brothers talk about they won debates. They're going to the next debate. This stuff is not no debate. This guy can't teach nobody debate because he ain't never been in one.
Right.
What moderator he ever had that said, okay, you won a point or lost a point?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, yo, man, all these things is fruitless, man. We're not exhorting the Most High with this stuff. Nothing is even happening.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We're not doing any good in some of these debates. You know why? Because the losing party don't have to capitulate to the loss.
Exactly.
It's like, what good is it we both walking away saying the same thing? Why is
Yep.
nothing on the line? If I win, you say what I say now, period. If you
Right.
win, I say what you're saying now, period. Nothing's on the line. Even you can understand inside the book of Acts, and they was like, yo, we don't kill, if they didn't kill Paul, they said they was going to starve themselves. They was going to fast till they died.
Mm-hmm.
They understood an oath when they really believed something. Ain't nothing on the line in these debates,
Right.
because they're not debates. So
Right.
he damn sure can't teach them not being in one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what debate did this man win online or anywhere else where he can say that it was a moderator, it was a panel, and he officially won a debate, and it wasn't by stinking applause?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And another thing about debates is you could still win a debate and not have the absolute truth. And that's known even with, even with the professional debaters you're talking about right now. It's possible to win a debate and be wrong.
That's
It's
true.
about expressing your point to the highest value where everybody can understand, and I could get you to agree with me simply from the way I'm speaking. So when we talk about debate, and the whole thing is these discussions took place, back in the day. But when we're talking about the word and we're talking about scripture and understanding scripture, we look at what the Bereans did with Paul. They didn't debate Paul. They went in and they studied what they knew about the scriptures to see if he was correct. They didn't go to him and say, yo, let's have a debate. I'm going to meet you in the synagogue at 12 o'clock and we're going to debate till 2 and see who wins. That's not how it goes. That's not how it went. The people who understood the scripture and were immersed in the scripture studied the scripture to see if he was correct.
Yeah, but nobody does that now, because this is the problem with social media. When everybody has an interpretation, you got
Exactly.
everybody like who. So how do you establish a leader if everybody has an independent interpretation of things?
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to reverence anything. Like, who is the man of the Most High now? Everybody say, I'm just going to listen to God or the Most High in Jesus or Yeshua or whatever way they say the Mashiach's name. Anybody can fall back as a default and said, I'm going to do what Christ said. That's a default that you're not even establishing what he established. You're just saying, I'm only going to listen to God. How does that work exactly?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? How does that work? At what point did the Most High not give you men to teach you what was right? Yeah, I'm gonna believe God. That to me, though that is the foundation, I'm gonna believe the Most High. Everybody is doing that in a way not to agree with what's the truth,
Right.
or even not to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff is mass confusion. That's why I'm like, yo, who got time for all those arguments? You got a beeline to what's fruitful. And I'm talking about for the exhorting of the Most High Bashim Yeshua. I'm not talking about just getting vainglory and trying to win a argument with somebody. It's like all it's doing is taking your life from you, man. And all it's doing is adding another gray hair. It has no fruit.
Right. Right. Yep.
I'm on TikTok. I'm gonna be doing exclusive premium lives for subs only once a week. Also, appreciate you, Umu.
I want to make my wrongs.
What did you come with the follow? Come with the follow too. We turn up. I want you to understand something. I'm in my unlimited era right now. You're gonna see all forms of content on here. You're gonna see real game, you're gonna see Bible talk, you're gonna see funny stuff, you're gonna see me talking to broads, you're gonna see how fresh I am, you're gonna see family content, you're gonna see hood stuff, you're gonna see everything.
Now stop right
I'm
there.
unlimited.
He unlimited.
Mm.
So the only thing that held him back from giving the content he really wanted to give is him masquerading as an Israelite. I'm just only using how he's projected.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So being an Israelite didn't allow you to push up on broads, show how fly you are, do high hood content. right? You're gonna have some Bible talk. Guess most religious people do. But outside of that, you're unlocked, you're unchained. What is this? GRLA Hebrew Unchained? So now he get to do exactly what he want to do. That's what I'm like, yo, bro, this thing can't be about him. Like, it can't be about his credibility. This brother's credibility is shot. But this is like the whole movement, and this is a movement right here. There's a movement with denying your Hebrew Israelite. It's like it's gaining a lot of force. A lot of people like right now to deny being a Hebrew Israelite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't get down with them camps. I don't get down with this. It's like a movement to deny. Go to Isaiah 44:5.
All right, 44:5. Want me to read it?
Go ahead and read it.
One shall say, I am the Most High's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Most High, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
All right, so when you're looking at that, brother, this is the equivalent of us being restored to us being Hebrew Israelites. Even though the word Abri is not there as far as Hebrew, but we're talking about being the sons according to the promise of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. One shall say, I am the Lord's, I am the Most High's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, sons of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Most High, and surname himself by the name of Israel, which is given to all 12 tribes. So when you hear brothers talk about they're not Hebrew Israelites no more, they're basically saying they're not the sons of Jacob anymore. They're not the princely order of Israel that the messenger gave to Jacob when he wrestled him when he said, "Hey, bless me. I know I'll let you go unless thou bless me." Brothers is saying that they're not Israelites anymore. So what happens with that? What is the alternative?
Anymore. Why lead a movement? Well, because it's a movement, and movements stop. That's the problem with movements. Our lineage, our heritage, should have never been turned into a movement. That's something that my big brother, the incomparable Andre Taylor, taught us. When you turn something into a movement, movements stop. Look at every movement that's ever happened. Look at it. This movement, that movement. It moves, then it stopped moving. Right? Appreciate the sub, Ron Meyer. Salute to you, brother. So I don't want to be associated with movements, right? I want to be associated with the wisdom of the Most High, because wisdom is more moving than any motion, right? So a lot of this movement of the Hebrew Israelites is based upon knowledge, and the scriptures teach us what that knowledge puffeth up. So it's just a bunch of people who's puffed up, who know a lot of stuff, but are not operating in the wisdom and understanding of the Most High. That are only operating in knowledge and not actually truly following the Bible. They're actually cosplaying as the ancient Israelites.
Now, pause right
And
there, bro. And I have a problem with how he disseminated that. How does that make it a movement? What a person does behind closed doors, because you're saying they're not doing what the Bible says per se, right? How is it that you saying what they're not doing? What is it that they're not doing that you know about that would distinguish them projecting knowledge as a movement? How, like, you make me understand, how does that make this a movement? If brothers did that, say we capitulate to that, we like, hey man, brothers is just moving in knowledge. How does that just make it a movement?
Right.
Because movements have a purpose, right? So you're saying the purpose of the movement is to give people knowledge? I mean, I'm just trying to understand, what is the purpose? If it's a movement, what is the purpose of this movement? If you're saying that the problem that they have is they're projecting knowledge, but they're not living it, what is the purpose of the movement? To project knowledge and not to live according to it? What is the movement? Because that would have nothing to do with you saying you're not an Israelite. Just to get to the skinny of it, that would have nothing to do with it. I want him to say, how is it a movement? What is the movement supposed to accomplish? Civil rights movement was to get voting rights, to get equality, to stop going in segregated bathrooms, to get rid of segregation. Their movement was for rights. What is this movement if it's based off of knowledge? This is what he's saying.
Right.
His movement is just based off of knowledge. What is the purpose of a movement that would be based off of knowledge? I'm just trying to get to the skinny of what you're trying to say, because it doesn't make any sense. How would that wouldn't have nothing to do with saying I'm not an Israelite?
Mm-hmm.
That would be like, hey man, I just don't like being around certain type of people.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, bro. I ain't gonna hold it up.
Again, it's simply his displeasure with what happened to him, his displeasure with being exposed, and this is the thing too, his displeasure with being disposed by people he saw beneath him.
Yeah.
And that is his, what I think is one of his major problems. These people are beneath me, and yet and still they're saying that they're better than me by exposing something that they knew this whole time. Because it's beyond me. I cannot believe that some of those brothers and sisters, obviously, in that camp did not know what was going on with him for years and said nothing. And that's his thing. These people are beneath me. They're not who I am. They're not on my level. And yet and still they're telling me I'm wrong.
Exactly. Now you hit the nail on the head right there. They're not on my level. I know more than them.
Mm-hmm.
So the movement means more, gets more preeminence with you internally, spiritually. That's your whole purpose. At least why you couldn't be reproved by those you felt was less than you, because your knowledge you believe is more. All we all doing is reciting information. What epiphanies have we had that we're not going to the book for, or to some history book for? All we're doing is reciting information.
Right.
Every last one of us, man. If the brother have any knowledge that he can properly discern right and wrong, the word of truth, the Most High is giving him that discernment. He's still reciting what was given already. So the brother has no point to me when you say it's a movement. Yeah, I want you to show me what is the movement's purpose in comparison to us being Israelites. What is the difference?
Anybody know me? I just seen somebody say something like, "Oh, he talks different than he used to." What your dumb ass don't know is, this is how I always talk. I've always talked like this, right? People are seeing content there. Oh, he's saying the gang. When the camera wasn't on, that's how I was talking. Ask anybody that really been around me. That's who I am, fool.
Was fronting then.
Yeah, like no doubt. I mean, this how you've been since you've been a kid. So you came into life. You found life in the word, new life in the word, finding out who you are as an Israelite. And there was no rebirth.
I say this is how I always. So the only thing that stop people from knowing who you are is the mask you put on when the camera was on. Now you want to bring him out now? You want, hey, look, now I can be who I really want to be.
Wow.
I've been banging against. I'm 9 years old, my nigga. 9 years old. You know, I bridled my tongue for the purpose of communal standards. Appreciate you, Asia. But when that camera go off, all that lingo was coming out entirely. But people know I'm the same. Everybody know that.
You know that the Most High making him fall on his own tongue.
Wow.
Like the Most High making him fall on his own tongue. He gloating about it.
Yeah. Wow.
Know me, at least. You know, but it's good. I don't, whatever people are saying, that's cool with me. That is cool with me. What I was saying. So the quote unquote Hebrew, it's not even a theological position, because the position is not even a theological one. This is where the Israelites have been have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozled themselves. And appreciate the follow, right? This is where that's happened. The bamboozling has occurred with the fact that believing that we come from a lineage that is much of the world doesn't agree is not a theological position, right? And we'll say, oh, we ain't got no religion, and then we will actively function as religions, as churches, etc. Right?
So is he saying that's what Sakari was?
I mean, I guess he got to be saying that if this is his accusation. And
but he also said he is Sakari. So who is he blaming now?
This man don't know what he's trying to say. You know, because a Israelite enters into a theological debate does not change the fact that he's an Israelite. He's just an Israelite entering into a theological debate, no different than an African American or a Caucasian or a Chinese person. They're not leaving their heritage because they enter into a theological debate on any issue. You're making it the same. This is the thing too. You're saying that brothers is operating religiously. Well, what exactly? Is it religious to be monogamous with a wife? Is it more historical that we should run around making wives everywhere and use the word has instead of had? Or using the word had instead of has when it comes to one's wives? That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, he's talking as somebody who is offended in his own, lineage, ancestral instructions. That's what, when the Most High gave us the commandments, the world calls it religion as they perpetrate it today. But nobody calls the instructions that a father gives to his son a religion.
Right.
Nobody calls that wisdom. Hey, it's a religious belief. If your father says, hey, a man should take care of his family, is that now dogmatic?
Right.
Is that just a natural thing a man should do?
Right.
That all men of all nations, that a standard is that a man should take care of his family.
So damn all those identity politics. Yeah, no. Mark is full of faith, man. Appreciate the follow. Salute to you. So yeah, I'm not bothering with that. That the Hebrew Israelite movement is stagnant, it's pigeonholed, it's convoluted, it's not progressive, it's capped out. So I'm cool. So if I'm gonna debate somebody, I'm not gonna be billed as or come representing the Hebrew Israelite movement. Man, I can't even take this shit seriously. I just want people to understand the Hebrew Israelites consistently are shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody's taking it seriously. You got to remember, sometimes you help so many other people that you forget to help yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's dangerous. And I've been there for years. Not there no more, but I've been there for years. Years.
Yo, Aki, don't be surprised if boy end up on a CNN panel talking to Paris Morgan, son.
Yo, man, he would love that, man. He would do that in a second, man. He's all about the spotlight, man.
Listen,
He wants his face in every household, like Bill Cosby.
this is what you got to do to get there. Once you've been compromised, that's all it takes. Boy been compromised, so certain doors are going to open up, Aki.
Yeah.
Particularly ones where you can get a brother like that to talk about his own community.
Yep. You're right, huh? You're right.